Well, you're not going to believe what I did. So the other day, right, I was making oils, carrier oils. I was making essential oils and things like that for my tooth care. And so I made oregano oil, and I used castor oil as carrier oil. And I put it in these little tiny opaque bottles, and I put it in the cupboard to infuse. Well, I did oregano oil. So I did everything I was supposed to do. I put the oregano spice into the jar. I put the carrier oil in. I tightened it, and I put it in the cupboard for 3 days, right? And I did that also with the cloves. Okay, so anyhow, I did it wrong. And I didn't even realize I did it wrong until after I went and took the oil out of the cupboard to use on my tooth care. The clove oil did not infuse into the oil, and the reason why is because I didn't use a mortar, and a pestle. I didn't use them. Yeah, I just took the cloves and put them in the jar and put the castor oil in the bottle, and then I put it in the cupboard. So then when I went to use it, I took it out. It's like, oh no, I did it wrong. So when I was making the clove oil the other day, the essential clove oil, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to crush the cloves. I didn't. And then when I went in the cupboard to get the clove oil to use on my tooth care, it wasn't infused. So what you're supposed to do is you use a mortar and a pestle, okay? Now, I always get them mixed up, but I think the pestle is the plunger. It's the... Now, most people buy the stone ones, but I have a wood one. So I put the cloves in the mortar, and I take the pestle, and I just crush them. Yeah. So I've put maybe, I don't know, 6 cloves in, and then all I have to do is just crush them to a powder if you're strong enough. And I'm not that strong, but I do get quite a bit, though. I do get quite a bit. And then you just take and you put the cloves that you've crushed into a little jar. And I put it into a little opaque container bottle that I use. I use these. I save these. Okay, and then you just basically fill it with olive oil. You can use olive oil, but I'm using castor oil. So I'm going to fill it up halfway with castor oil. I don't know if you can see that. And then I just put the lid on and give it a shake. Can you see that? See if I can hold it to the light. Yeah, so there you can basically see. So it's about filled to here. Yeah, and then you shake it, and then you just put it in the cupboard. And that is what I was supposed to do the other day, but I did not. And the reason that I did not, I think, is because I'm so used to doing it that when I put the oregano leaves in and covered it with the carrier oil, it just didn't dawn on me. Okay, you gotta crush the cloves, right? But anyway, it's got a wonderful smell in the kitchen. I do boil cloves, and usually closer to Christmas I'll put some cloves and some cinnamon in a pot of water on the stove, and usually I get the cinnamon sticks and I will boil it on the stove, and it's an air cleanser. And if you have any respiratory illness or you have any clogged sinuses, that is a wonderful thing to have infused into the air. Now, I do find that sometimes if it's been boiling on the stove on simmer, it's been on the stove like most of the day on simmer, it can be overwhelming. It can become a little bit much. So all I'm saying is, don't leave it simmering all day, because it kind of gets nauseating after a while. But for that first maybe hour, half hour, it will give a wonderful scent throughout your house. So that is what you're supposed to do when you're making clove oil. So I'm going to leave this in the cupboard for 3 days, and then I will be able to use it on my teeth. I do have a little bit left, so I did use that last night. I rub it on my gums, and it literally stimulates the gums to bring that good blood and that oxygen into your gums and to your mouth. So I hopefully nobody else followed my lead with that video, but if you did, it's all a learning process, right? So you're just like me, we're learning together. So I shall see you on the next video. The good Lord be willing. Bye.